Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna from Flip It Ain't Easy, and wanted to do our weekly live with you guys, and we're glad that a lot of you guys did get here early, so that's pretty awesome. I mean, more than I can ever remember.
Yeah.
Weren't really. I was actually working on some things on my account, and I didn't really read any of the remarks. So normally I like to get in here with you guys and chat a little bit before the live, but glad that you guys are here. We already have 27 that are watching. So thanks for being a part of it all. For those of you guys who are here with us or will be with us later, of course, you won't be hearing this if you're not with us later, but please comment in the chat questions, comments. That does help drive the program. If you're watching this after the fact, of course, your comments are just as important. And either way you're watching it, just make sure you're hitting that like button. That's really all we ask for the time that we spend to chat, take out of our day. Sales for me, I mean, I'm hearing like a lot of mixed things. I'm hearing a lot of mixed things from different people that their sales are great. Looks like Mike Camparelli, my buddy Mike here, says he had 12 sales today. So that's awesome for you, Mike. For me, it's not so hot. And, it's where I was finding myself for the last few months sort of in the mid 550s, 550 listings, and it was down from 7 something. So that's good, right? And so that I could attribute to my cross listing, getting a lot of sales on other platforms, and kind of getting it back up to over 600. And some might say, hey, that's a good thing. You're getting your listings, more items up on eBay. I mean, we've got shoes still back here. I mean, it's starting to go down a little bit. Got a lot of shoes still in the garage, a lot of work to do on that. But the thing is, for me, it's about trying to, of course, for as many items I list, I want to sell. So looking at my 90 days, which is kind of the measurement I look at. Historically, when I've had a lot of good years, I've been over 600 items in 90 days, and that translates about 200 per month. My better months are closer to 300 items, and we're over that 200 per month range even now as I talk to you. So I'm saying that, for me, I think that sales could be better. And I've heard from many people that they're just not there. So I want to know what you guys think, what your sales look like. Um, Talking to some friends in the trucking industry, my buddy who runs a trucking company says that business is way down, and the demand is just not there. And like a lot of stuff that's coming off these containers, Pacific Ocean, and I guess other ports, a lot of orders are being canceled. And so he had somebody call him while we're out playing golf in Arizona, and he had someone call him, and they have a container full of electronics, and wants to know, hey, what can we do? So he knows some people that might be interested in buying the stuff. I mean, we're talking like a large container. Of course, I can't take that on right now, but the orders are coming in that were delayed out in the middle of the ocean, and now companies are canceling the shipments, and so you have these shipments now that are now canceled. So it's just not a good sign of things to come. And I hope that maybe this week, because we're dealing with Black Friday coming up here, this is historically one of the best weekends for selling either brick and mortar or online. Of course, you got Cyber Monday as well. And so my hope is that we'll see an uptick, and it is what it is. So want to hear your guys' input and your data on this, what you guys feel. Also, let's see, what else was I want to talk? So what are you guys planning on doing? I guess the discussion I wanted to have, the larger discussion, is what are your plans going forward? So, historically, from what I've seen in the reselling business, January, February is sort of an extension of Q4. It's not as good, but it's not bad either. It's pretty good. And I'm wondering how that's going to be impacted as well, because I'm always kind of looking forward. So what are your plans as far as running your business? There's a lot of people who, when things kind of get slow, they tend to just shut down and stop reselling, like your part-time sellers, that type of thing. So I'm just curious what your strategy is going forward. How do you combat things when things are slow? For me, I get kind of more motivated. I get motivated to just kind of want to list more. And that's just for me. I want to know how you kind of go about slow sales and kind of questionable results. I've been doing a lot of, went to the river over the weekend to
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
There's a lot of rivers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Arizona, Colorado River, that's the river. And went there, I visited some friends, was there really like 26 hours. Literally, I left late at night. I mean, this is the sad thing, guys. I'll just tell you about myself here. So get out there, have a nice dinner with friends. Next day, we go have breakfast, go play golf. But before we go play golf, guess what this guy does? I go across the way. There's a swap meet that's there. And I've always seen it, but of course, I never really was interested in sourcing that way until this year. And so I decided to go over there, and I didn't buy a single thing. It was pretty sad, guys. A swap meet that used to have quite a few vendors out there selling stuff, only had like 6 vendors. And even talking to some of these people, they were telling me how slow it's been. And of course, I did a video. I didn't release the video because I didn't think the video was worth a damn, to be honest with you. And that's one of the videos, kind of the videos that I just scrap. Maybe it's one of those things where I in the future I don't scrap, and maybe the folks that, if we do some kind of like a membership thing, I don't know. I don't want to do that, but like like a $1.99 a month, you get like an avatar. We've been kind of discussing stuff like that. But the people who are willing to do that might care to see my adventures of going to different places that really don't have a lot of educational material. Let me just say it that way. So just something I'm kicking around, but never will I charge for a program or anything like that. I just don't think that's even cool, but just something I'm kicking around. But of course, I went through the steps of making a video, and I just scrapped it. But the thing is, I had a decent time, but my mind was constantly, this is sad, my mind was on my business, and I had no cell phone reception either. So I had no idea what was going on out there. It's just, where we were staying is just in the middle of nowhere and no signal. Everyone else seemed to have one, but me,
and
not even a bar.
Switched carriers just so that he can have service out there. And we have switched carriers multiple times to test it, and he never gets service out there. So it's quite weird.
Yeah. So it is what it is. It's just got home and sales weren't great, but that's fine. Of course, get home late Saturday night, Sunday. Guess what I'm doing? I'm looking for the closest yard sale. And I did find some places that had some stuff and picked it up and brought it home. So that's my weekend in a nutshell. Curious to see how your guys' weekend went with sales and anything else interesting. So let's say hi to some people here. We have Prosser Independent Trading. My sales a bit slow this last week, but back up again over the weekend. Awesome. Of course, we checked in with Mike. We got Tyler's Trading Post is in the house. Thanks for hanging out with us. Aunt White's just had the best weekend of sales I've ever had.
Wow.
Made in $1,000 in 2 days. It's a good motivator. Yay! Yes. Awesome. Yeah, that gets you fired up. That gets you really motivated to get out there and list. I mean, see, it's funny. It's like that with me too. I get good sales. I'm like, okay, got to get more up, right? Can't sell if it's not up. And I get that way when I'm slow sales, but like the average days, it just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know. It's just weird. We got Kevin Hawthorne's in the house from Lakeland, Florida. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Attractive Metal Designs. Hi from UK. Did watch Football World Cup today. USA were playing. The USA are in the same group with England. You guys know who I'm rooting for. But we'll see how that works out. I'm not really big into soccer. Soccer's not football, as you guys might call it, is not the biggest spectator sport here in the United States, even though there's a lot of people who follow it. Mainly, I mean, if it's USA, if it's track and field, someone's trying to jump over alligators, I'm probably, rooting for USA. So it doesn't really matter for me. Aunt White says, sorry if these seem like spam questions. Been wanting to get them out for a little while. Should I process a return and refund without involving eBay as the middleman? Okay, so someone sends you a message and they say, hey, I got a problem with this item, and you then send them a label or give them an address kind of thing where to send it back. I wouldn't. Now, I know the hesitation may be that, well, it comes off as maybe a ding on the account. Maybe it's just another return, but I don't believe that those are really necessarily counted against you like that. eBay, if the return's open through eBay becomes sort of a safe haven for seller and buyer, so that there's no misunderstanding. They have the tracking number. They can follow the, whatever the return label is. There's no, well, I sent it back to you. How come you didn't get it? And I'm glad you actually mentioned this, because I have a buyer who bought a Christmas, what the heck was it? See if I could find it, but it's just a Christmas decoration, like one of those little houses that light up kind of thing. And they bought it, and then I shipped it. They sent me a message wanting to cancel. They said they bought it on accident. I don't know if they found another one or just what.
How do you buy something on accident?
Well, it is, but in this case, let's see if I could find it while we're talking. In this particular case, I said, no, we already shipped it out. So that's the last I heard of them. And yesterday, I get a message saying that they refused delivery on the package. It's a Limax 2018 Nora's Christmas Boutique. And it's just like this little, I don't know, how do you describe it?
It's just, anybody knows, it's like for a nativity scene. It's the Christmas villages. It's one of the houses. I have one. We have one I put up for Christmas. But this one's Nora's Christmas Boutique. Sold it
for $57.74. I guess that's after the discount, whatever, plus shipping. And they're like, did you get it back? No, I didn't receive anything back. I didn't even know you refused it until you just told me. As of this message, I didn't receive anything back. So now it puts the buyer and seller both in kind of a predicament, because there's no tracking. It's a UPS ground delivery, and just shows delivered. All right. And I think USPS, they'll show like a deliver or maybe refused or something, and it'll show some activity coming back on those tracking numbers. But on UPS ground, just nothing. It just shows delivered. So now the buyer goes to eBay. They go to file a chargeback, and it's going to really burn the buyer, because it's going to show delivered. And of course, it relies on the honesty of the seller and all that, because there's not going to be any record of me getting it back. I haven't received it back. And frankly, I mean, I don't want it back, but I'm not going to burn the buyer either. I mean, right now we're talking 21st of November. Ain't nobody buying Christmas decorations right now. They already got their Christmas decorations. That's like selling Halloween decorations on the 25th of October. It ain't happening. Okay. So, I mean, it kind of sucks. I mean, if it comes back, it's going to get refunded, but it's going to be refunded minus the original shipping. And from what I understand, UPS, at least I've seen in the past, they've charged a return fee on those packages. I ain't paying for that either. So we'll see how that works out. But I mean, if that thing never shows up, it just puts the seller and buyer.
They shouldn't be refusing it, because that just meant every time we've had somebody do that. We had somebody do that when it was a buyer I was dealing with, and it was the one from Texas. I can't remember what it was, but he refused it, and it caused a bunch of delays and a bunch of drama that didn't need to happen. If he just would have kept it, taken it in, done a return, it wouldn't have caused so much back and forth between him and I, and it would have been processed a lot faster. But
see, I think part of us, we want to keep eBay out of the equation sometimes, and I think that's a kind of a big mistake, because when the S hits the fan, it's just your word against theirs. And of course, if let's say they pay you, let's say you invoice them off eBay through PayPal, they pay with their credit card, they can go back and do a chargeback and you don't have really much to stand on.
eBay, as much as we, have things that we dislike, that is one thing that when we need them to step up and do what is right for both the buyer and the seller, they usually do. They have, in our case anyway.
Let's see. So Biscuit Butt, I think he tends to agree. Never go outside of eBay. If sold through eBay, they can not only get the refund outside of eBay, but then it puts a CC dispute and you get 2 times. So, just let them know that please open a return. It protects both buyer and seller. And I mean, I don't know why a buyer wouldn't want to open a return, because it puts the seller on notice that you better not because the thing is, if a buyer opens a return and that seller doesn't see it because they're not attentive to their account, they're going to lose the item and the money. So I mean, as a buyer, it doesn't make sense not to open a return. And Ant says, I give my buyers and my sellers shipping discount, good, or am I losing out? I personally, what I do is when I'm I have it set up in my eBay account to offer the discounts to the buyer, and on calculated, I'll add $1 on my handling because of supplies, like bubble wrap isn't free. Boxes, when I do use boxes, they're not free. Tape's not free, and that type of thing. And eBay is going to get their chunk out of it anyway. So by the time I get anything out of that $1, it's like 80 cents or whatever by the time it's all said and done. So
you get 50.
Yeah, it'd be about 80. But nonetheless, I do it that way. See, I don't want to scare my buyers away. So the price may be fine within market, but once they then go in and plug in the calculated shipping, now they're dealing with, well, maybe I'll buy this other one because they're out on the other side of the country, and that high price that you're passing on to them instead of your discounted rate could make the difference between a sale or them moving on. So for me, that's how I kind of do it. Ant's got a lot of questions today. That's fine. I want to get.
She said in the beginning.
That's fine. I mean, that's what drives this program. So it's awesome. I want to get to this to storage unit auctions. Any advice or personal experience? Well, I can tell you.
Biscuit Butt does.
Yeah, Biscuit Butt could probably comment in the chat, but I can tell you, I've been kind of turned away from these auctions. Now, I've been there with him when he scored on some pretty cool stuff, and I'm sure he made money on it. But then, he told me about a time where it looked staged, looked pretty good, and he got there and he got a bunch of empty boxes and just pretty bad stuff. It's almost kind of like buying an unmanifested pallet without even being able to see, but just the boxes that you're getting, and have no idea what you're going to get. And, like the time I got a bunch of food, you got to be willing to take the risk and accept the risk. Thankfully, it was all expired food, and they saw the fact they shouldn't have been even selling that stuff to begin with. Got my money back, but I can tell you, storage units aren't going to be that forgiving. Keep your investments or the risks that you take on that as little as possible. And if you find like maybe $100, you can get an auction storage unit, and it looks pretty darn good, go for it. But be understanding this, that there's gonna be a lot of it that is going to be not even worth your time. You're going to probably want to go and dump it. So have the means and the ability to go to the dump if you need to, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that's just
do
not
as
worth
much
your while.
research on it as you can.
Well, visual clues are always going to be the thing. You're going to be looking for things, and maybe if you find a retail box, look it up. It may be empty, but just know that there could be something good inside there. I wouldn't spend a whole lot of money though if you're looking at that angle. I know sometimes it's tempting to do new things or get out of your comfort zone when you're just not able to source the way you're used to. I get it. I understand it. I've been there and done that. And sometimes you'll find a great way to source. Like me, I kind of reluctantly went along with Archie and Carrie from American Arbitrage, went with them to some yard sales locally. And I'm like, hey, this could work. Bought all those golf clubs, and I was hooked from there. So let's see. Mike says, I'd like to add buy it now to all my auctions for 2 reasons. One, it informs the buyer the possible in game to the price. And if you sell it at the buy it now price, you get what you want for it. Yeah. I don't do a whole lot of auctions. Now, with that said, I was telling Jenna that, you know, this weekend's supposed to be a pretty good sales weekend. And for me, I'm thinking I have a lot of old stock. I just want to move along from. I just don't want to keep waiting for a unicorn buyer on some of this stuff. So what I might do is I might set, let's say, a reasonable price. Let's say a little bit more than my cost on the item. And you guys know I kind of keep my costs low anyway. So a lot of it's going to be like between $5 and $10 max to start off with, and plus shipping, and just blow it out. Right, that'll make room for a lot of the shoes that we're listing and stuff, and just move on from it. Right. And that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing now on some of this stuff. I just don't see paying 25 cents to say, okay, here's this item I'm selling for $4.99, take it for $12.99. I don't know. I just don't. And a lot of these items aren't going to sell. I did some auctions where I had some stuff that I have listed for like 99 cents just to start on an auction that didn't sell, that I see the comps are around $100. I just didn't get the right buyer. For me, I don't want to do that. I don't want to give my stuff away. But then again, I mean, if I could get someone to do a buy it now, I probably would just avoid the whole auction in itself.
Yeah, and
set a price.
We've had sales where it was on auction, and just recently actually, where it was on auction, but we took a buy it now instead because they were at the buy it now was obviously set from our price, and we got what we wanted for it.
Yeah. So for me, I think eBay, think about it. eBay defaults to auction when you're using the app. You have to actually go in. I mean, I can't stand it. You have to go in and you have to click on buy it now, and you got to wait like 5 seconds, and then it flips over, and then you can continue. There's got to be a reason why it defaults at auction, and I think eBay kind of wants you. I think they have like 90% fixed price listings. I think there's 10% on eBay that are auction. And I'm wondering if maybe a lot of those people who are auctioning items are doing it because they just see it's defaulted that way. They put a price and hope to sell it. I don't know, but I'm going to probably try to add some auctions in here for this weekend and this weekend only. Biscuit Butt says, man, eBay is really trying to get us to enroll into the shop with proceeds program. So annoying. Yeah. It's like you have $5 to spend. No, I've got $5 of my available balance. You should be sending that to my bank. And, we're trying to accumulate money, not find ways to spend it. So, I mean, unless you guys see, I could see how that would maybe benefit someone who runs a business of buying stuff on eBay that's priced just ridiculously too low. And they flip it like the eBay arbitrage, right? They go on, they get it, and then they put it at the correct market price, make a profit that way. I could see maybe because you're constantly buying on eBay, how that might be something that would work for you, especially if you have a newer account where they're putting a hold in your funds until the item actually is received. So maybe, but otherwise, I don't see all you're doing is giving eBay free money to make
they take enough
interest
money
on.
from us.
Tyler's Trading Post says made 3 sales this week. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, just keep building it up. Keep building up the value in your store. The number of items will equal more value, that type of thing. And you'll see that you're going to grow in no time. Aunt White says, I have some items that buyers pay $60, $80, even $100 for shipping, but I paid like half that for the label. Makes me feel bad, and I issue refunds. One guy paid $100 for a train set, cost me $38. When it comes to that, here's the thing.
But don't we get a discounted rate through eBay anyway?
Yeah, but you have an option in eBay where you can turn that off for your buyers. So like if my calculated shipping, I had that turned off, it would show them close to maybe retail, but it's like close to retail. And the buyers basically either they pay it, and a lot of people will reluctantly pay it. And see, for me, I'm looking at, well, you're going to get someone that's probably going to complain, maybe put a negative feedback. even though they shouldn't be putting negative feedbacks because they agree to buy the item anyway at that price.
Yeah.
It shows them in the listing how much, based on the zip code they're shipping it to, their zip code, that how much it's going to cost to ship that item. So they're agreeing to all that up front. But to me, you're going to get a lot of people who don't know any better and just think, well, I guess that's the going rate and ship it. And I would say if you're doing that, more power to you. Do not feel guilty. Keep the money.
Yeah.
Your time, your
time,
gasoline to go to the, if you don't have local pickup set up, not only to the post office, but maybe FedEx or UPS. That's worth, your time is worth something. If you're spending an hour, even if it's 30 minutes, packing up items, securely shipping items, then for me, that's worth something. That's worth your time. And if you are charging more, I would say, don't give back a refund, but take special care. Maybe even go as far as, you want to build customer perception. I think that's a big thing that we don't talk about in the reselling business or in just sales in general. Okay. So of course the customer doesn't know you from Adam. But in this case, maybe drop a nice little note, something nice. Maybe I know sellers who will add like a couple bonus items, something small, little trinkets. Thank you for your business kind of thing. Who's going to be mad when they get that item that's packed perfectly, everything's in good order, and look, this nice note, or maybe I got a couple extra things that I wasn't even counting on getting.
Right.
That shipping charge that they paid, it's going to kind of be a forethought.
Yeah, don't ever, when we first started, I used to feel bad, just like you, Aunt. I used to feel bad if I felt overpaid for shipping or even an item. And then as you get going and you're doing this for a long time, you have to always value yourself. So you need to value your time, your energy, the care and time that you put into putting that listing together, getting the item wherever you got it. Maybe you had to go thrifting to get it. Your gas, your time is invaluable. And you've got to make sure that even though you think that they are paying too high of a cost for one thing or another, you have to remember all of the different key factors that went into that sale.
You need to understand that sale that I had 2 weekends ago, I bought those items for $70. Same buyer I sold those items to for $1,800. Now I sold the spaceship for $1,000 plus shipping. I sold the little replica gun, whatever the heck it is,
taser gun.
for $695 plus shipping. And now the buyer's asking me, you have anything else? And I'm talking to Jenna, and her initial thing was just give it to him. And I turned to her and I said, you know what? I said, we're running a business here.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has to remind me that a lot because
just
like
give him this. Yeah.
I tend to go that way because that's just my nature. I'm extremely giving and extremely generous. And so when he spent all that money, I'm just thinking, oh God, well, he's going to pay because he did 3 different purchases. So that's shipping on each one that he already agreed to pay, which, I'm sure, didn't you combine it or something, or did you not?
No, because they were all separate packages. They wouldn't have been able to. I shipped them all separately.
Anyway, that's and then I have to sit back and be like, oh yeah, you're right.
So I said, look, I said, look, we're not in a charitable position here. Of course, I made a killing. I could say, okay, $1,700 plus shipping off of 70, great. If he would have come back and maybe said, hey, would you throw it in? I don't know. I probably would have, only because I already made my money. But he said, what do you got? And I told him, here's what we have. I don't know the value. It seems like it's a one-of-a-kind thing. Found no comps on it except the insured value when it was shipped to whoever like 6 years ago. On the tube, it showed $400 it was insured for. I said, I'll give it to you for $100 plus the cost of shipping. He said, I'm sold. He's all, I'll do it. And now maybe if it was someone else who didn't buy these items from me, I might have wanted more, but I was kind of willing to give him a deal. In my mind, $100 was kind of a deal just here, but I say a lot, and I don't mean this to you or anything at all. I just say in general, when we talk about running a business, I think sometimes we tend to put our personal feelings in the business when we need to leave them out, and how we feel should be irrelevant. We should put that aside, and if you can get X, Y, and Z, you paid $38 for that train set. You got $100. That's good. That's a good come up. That's what it's supposed to be like. It's not supposed to make you feel, trust me, I did not feel a bit of guilt at all that $70 flip into $1,800. I feel like I won, but guess what? I'm sure that buyer feels like he won. He was happy to pay that. He wanted it. There's other sellers that were selling the same item for more. He found a deal. He got a deal. He was happy with it. And that $100 that buyer spent for that train set could have been $100 less that he was about to pay someone else, but he found your item, and it doesn't matter. I mean, so things that the buyer doesn't know. And as long as you're not putting it in the listing, hey guys, I paid 38 for this. We're just asking 100. I had someone on Mercari, one of my first sales on Mercari years ago, left me a negative feedback because I sold them an item for $40. Okay, they were happy to buy it. And I don't know how or why, but it was a new item and the retail tag was like 24. And they left feedback saying, you seller charged 24, charged me 40. They did. And that's, I guess buyers don't understand. I mean, just like the same buyers who think that shipping is free when it's not. You say I'm offering free shipping. They say, oh, great, this guy's got the hookup. That's not how it works. But there's a lot of buyers who don't know any better. I just got an offer for $5 on a book I was selling for 12, free shipping. And, it's like, I can't make anything and they came back with an offer for 6 on my account. So, I'm like, okay, I declined it. I give you one chance to come back to earth. And if you don't, you get declined. So, good questions all around, but don't feel guilty. Take the emotions out of it.
Remember your worth. Just remember what you did to get that. You had to drive, you had to put in your time. And that person there thought your listing was valuable enough to pay $100.
Now, if the guy paid $100, now that's including shipping, right? Maybe you had it priced at $60 plus 40 shipping, whatever, maybe the calculated rate made it like $40 shipping. Well, the guy wouldn't have bought this train set if it wasn't priced within the market. So you have other sellers that'll say, okay, I want $100 free shipping, knowing that it's going to cost me $30 to ship it to this guy. I'm going to make a little bit off the item. Let's assume they paid $38 too. So you're just doing it a different way. Unless they're screaming and yelling, I wouldn't. And even then I would be like, well, this is part of the deal. You did agree to pay for it. This is what it is. I personally wouldn't give any money back, but I wouldn't even consider it unless, it's one of those things where they're maybe coming to you saying, hey, I want to buy your item. And, it shouldn't cost this much to ship it to me if it's only 5 pounds. Would you, is there anything you could do on the shipping? Then maybe you can work with them on the price of the shipping. But once they agree to buy it, no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. And we get offers, that are really low ball offers all the time. And we just come back with the, I'm sorry, but, due to the eBay fees and the cost of goods, as well as shipping materials, I can't go any lower than this amount. And maybe you can come down a couple of bucks, but say my lowest price is this. And, sometimes you have to break it down in layman's terms because they don't understand how this business works like we do.
Yeah. It's just a mindset change. You just got to change your mindset, and that, there's nothing wrong with, staying firm with your policies, and just do it in a nice way. Like, hey, this is the best I can do. Or maybe you have room to give them a discount to offset the higher price in shipping, or you can do like me, and I don't really make money off of shipping. I'll make $1. The largest packages, I think I have a policy set up for the really large ones I used to sell, was only $2. And that's it for me. I'm not really trying to do that because I know that it can turn people away if you price your shipping too high. Let's see. Sandra says, gotta say 2 days in a row on phone with eBay support. My store is haunted. Yesterday couldn't print international labels, and today 3 of my sold auctions vanished into thin air. I'm sure 3 winners. Sad. Wow, that's weird. I could tell you the app was haunted for me the other day. I kept going in and I was changing my pay. It kept telling me I needed it to change my payment policy. And I'm like, but I have it set in here in the app. So I go in there and go and click my immediate pay policy, which I have an immediate pay policy. I also have an auction policy, which doesn't require them to pay because you have to have it set that way if you're doing an auction. Well, I would switch it to the immediate pay policy that I have, and then I'd click it. And then all of a sudden, I even did a screenshot of it, a video of it. I might do a little short video on it. After 2 seconds, it switched over to some policy I never created. And it was like a weird policy that eBay made for me. And I went back twice and it kept doing that. So I'm like,
that happened to me too.
So yeah, there's weird things always happening with eBay. I just kind of leave it at that. We've got over 100 people watching. Please hit the like button, guys. I certainly appreciate that. That's the price of admission today. I appreciate you guys. So let's see if we can get some more questions here.
Ed says hi. Hi, Ed.
I'll go back to that.
Hi to you. He said hi to me.
Well, then forget it. Prosser says, hey, Flippin' Ain't Easy. What are you doing to me? I know I have shoes and just made a contact. There's several pallets of shoes. Well, that's a good thing, I think. If you don't want them, well, you're in the UK, so that'd be kind of expensive. But yeah, I would say if you don't want them and you're close, come talk to me. I mean, I went to that yard sale on Sunday. I went to a few of them they had going on, and I bought some shoes. The lady was like, I don't care, just $1 a pair. And I bought like 3 or 4 pairs, brought back, and I'm thinking, great, I'm just going to add to my stack here. But
he said when he used to come home and he says, I bought shoes, I just roll my eyes and I'm like, oh,
we haven't,
God, like we don't have enough.
But at some point, I mean, look, these shoes as they are that we bought were like at least 2+ years old, some even a lot older than that, and they're selling. So for me, I mean, buy them. If I can't list them now, when I do get to them, they're going to have demand. Let's see. We got Stepmo in the house. We have Bearded Poke Tuber in the house. And of course, Ed says, hi, Jenna. So we'll go quickly through that. T-Town Trekker says, hey, Flippin' from fam parents. Hey, Flippin' fam parents.
Flippin' fam parent. We're the parents? What?
I don't know. Stepmos is listening while listening to you both. Tyler's Trading Post says, John, what have you done to Prosser to independent trading? He's buying shoes. Well, you could blame it on Ed and Tommy. They're the ones that kept talking about the shoes. And honestly, it's one of those things where it put the thought in my mind when I went to that yard sale and I saw, okay, here's some Adidas, some nice Adidas shoes. Asked her what she wants, $8. And I'm like, wow, she's got a lot of shoes here. Let me just see if I throw money at her, what she'll do. And I said, $300. I said, what do you want for all of it? She's like, what do you mean all of it? I had some in my hand and she's looking at what I had in my hand. And I said, no, all of it. And I put up 2 fingers. I said 200. And she's all, okay. And then she decides she's going to go fishing in the garage and pull out a bunch more. I'm like, but wait. I said $100 for everything else, even the stuff you have in the house. So if it wasn't for Ed and Tommy Bernard, I would be probably oblivious to the value of buying shoes. And when you can buy them that low, $1, $2 a pair, you can't lose.
I mean, and you really don't find those. Like, you can't even go to Ross and get shoes that low. So, and they sell name brands too, Yeah.
So we got Michael Biddle. Hey, Mike, thanks for hanging out with us today. He's going through 5,000 baseball cards. And you know what? I used to love as a kid, my baseball cards. We play Monopoly and Connect Four and all that stuff for baseball cards as kids. Wow. We do all kinds of stuff. And I always love my baseball cards. I gave a bunch of them to Carrie because I know he likes baseball cards, and they were just sitting out of like a big box. And just the idea of selling them individually just kind of wasn't a thing. I do have some more I picked up from Cincinnati Picker on his whatnot to kind of just to do the whatnot thing. And I got kind of carried away, bought a few. But yeah, baseball cards are cool. I just think the market right now is kind of going down a little bit on baseball cards. Ed says, my sales this weekend were okay. I listed a lot of new stuff, and 3 out of the $20 items sold same day.
I like that.
Yeah, I do. I like when you pick up something and you go in and you flip it real quick. That's a good feeling. Callie Deb says, hi, everyone. Semper Fi 1918 says, sales not great, but is picking up. The Disgruntled Octopus says, morning all. Sales are dead for the last 4 days here. Normally average 550 to 1,000 Australia a day. Lately is 150 to 200. And so that's kind of a lot of the stuff I've been hearing. I mean, another big channel was talking about how, I lied. I'm like, well, first of all, I mean, I think it was kind of a clicky title more than anything else, because you can't lie.
Didn't even click on the video.
You can't lie about what you think's going to happen. That's not a lie. That's just, hey, I think that it's going to be a good Q4. Q4 will fix a lot of things and we'll be back on track. That's just maybe a positive outlook, but it's not a lie. But here, guys, I've been telling you this for a while. We can go back a year, and I've been telling you guys, start focusing on the needs versus the wants, because it's only going to get worse. So we had a big conversation about this during the summer. I had a lot of people saying I was just, I guess Debbie Downer, and yeah. And it's like, I'm just trying to be real with you guys. I'm looking, and you guys should be looking at different things that have to do with the economy, because it's going to directly affect you and your ability to move your stuff. Savage Picker says, sales have been good. However, I had a buyer send me offers on 7 of my items and then never paid. So frustrating. And it is frustrating.
That is so annoying.
And at this point, shame on eBay for allowing that to happen.
Yeah.
And of course, shame on eBay for building expectations and not following through.
Right.
I would have rather them said nothing. And I would rather them say nothing. And then the next day we all wake up to a program that just requires buyers to pay right away.
Yeah.
So sorry that happened to you. Ping G says, I had 9 sales last weekend, 0 this weekend, but I had 2 sales today. Yeah, it's just weird. It's
been very hit and miss. Like, we'll do really good on one day, and then the next day or even 2 days, it's like barely nothing. And that's like last weekend, we hit it out of the park. And then this weekend, it was bad.
You guys see that? My flipping ain't easy.
And yes, I let him use it.
I took it back.
No, you didn't.
I spoke at the Reseller Summit to get this. And what's cool about it is,
I cleaned it and I gave it to you this morning, filled with water, so that he made sure he drank water today.
So that means you own all my clothes too, because you do the laundry.
You're right. I do the laundry.
But no, I got that at the for doing the Reseller Summit. It happens to be my high school colors, so I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it could have been pink or something.
You were supposed to take it to the river, and you didn't, so I used it.
Yeah. But once you claimed it, I was like, oh, that sucks. I mean, you're just going to steal it from
I
me.
didn't claim it.
You did.
No.
You did. Does it have a straw?
I said you can use it.
Does it have a straw? Oh, God. I mean, you got got this one.
The good news.
This one she made this.
The good thing is,
she has this. She made it, and it's like totally cool. You've got your own, and it has a straw.
But listen, want to know what's really good for you? Is that doesn't fit my cup holder in my car.
Good. I can keep it now.
So
I can keep it.
You can keep it.
Oh, good. Okay. So it was very cool to get that from Rob and Melissa. They were really cool to do that. So Ed says, business at my full-time is also down. It's normal for this time of year for my full-time, but it's way worse right now. We're worried that the business won't survive. Yeah, that's there's nothing.
A lot of big companies that are they're either making their major losses.
Right. Listen to, I mean, look, okay, I can trust the media as far as I can throw them. Let me put it that way. but listen to, maybe go on, look at some channels on YouTube other than reselling, maybe financial, right? Every once in a while, I'll watch those kind of channels, and they're out at car dealerships talking to people who sell cars, saying, hey, what's it look like? They're talking to people that are directly affected by a good or bad economy. And all the signs are out there that it's not good. And from what I hear, that 2023 is going to be worse. So I guess it kind of goes back to the topic. What are you guys going to do? What are you going to do to improve things? I mean, for me, in my mind, I know that, look, eBay's still going to be around. There's still going to be demand for a secondhand market like eBay. I mean, of course, you can sell new stuff on eBay as well. There's going to be a market for it because people may not want to pay full retail, and they're willing to go secondhand to fulfill a need. So for me, I think that is kind of what's going to happen. So my plan going forward kind of ties into what I kind of want to do. Get a lot of this dead crap out of my store, blow it out. I'm thinking about just getting it and just putting it up for auction. This is probably the weekend maybe to do it, where people are going to be buying online this weekend on Cyber Monday, and just move on from it, reinvest in better stuff. For me, it's stop buying the CD players, stop buying the CD changers, the DVD players that I was buying like earlier in the year at Goodwill, and flipping it, because I've been sitting on a couple of them and they're not moving. And I've been repricing it. At this point, these are large items. They're taking up space that I could be using. And I would rather just get something for it, maybe get my money back on it, and then just take that money. I keep seeing stuff at yard sales, guys. And I see stuff that I get for $1 or $2, flip it easily for 15, 20, same day. And I think it's better to start looking for things like that have good sell-through rates, to improve your sell-through rates. Something I was thinking about this weekend too, and I don't think he's here. I'm not going to really. So my boring reselling life, right? That channel, one of you guys turned me on to that channel, and I watched some of his videos. I admire this guy like 100% for being able to list and maintain over 40,000 listings on his eBay store. I admire and he makes like $1,000 a day in sales. So that's awesome, right? But if you're making 100 sales a day with 40,000 listings, that's a really low sell-through rate. And I don't know if I could bring myself to even want to grow that big. So it's not, I don't think listing our way out of this is going to really be it. I mean, the more you list, the better. But I mean, I think sometimes we start looking at numbers. How do we grow our store to be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000? And we do it in a way where we're putting up, and we put a video out on this, just listing crap. Okay. And it's just stuff. And I have stuff. I'm like, okay, I can list these reader glasses. They're new in the box, 4-pack. I get $10 on eBay for it. And I'm thinking, why? Am I just trying to add items and build a store? Or do I want, so I got to keep my mind focused on my business model. Now for him, look, this is why I'm so torn. For him, he's making good money after his costs and everything. He's making good money. So I guess it works, right? So what good is a sell-through rate, that we're trying to achieve, if you can still, I guess you got years and lots of money tied into that inventory that's sitting there. I'm sure most of those items are waiting for the unicorn buyer, and that unicorn buyer is coming and buying the item. But in my mind, it's hard to see, like, okay, if I have that many items listed, and I guess I mentioned this because he had mentioned when I put out the video, I think it's the fastest and easiest way to list on eBay. Now, I didn't say it was the fastest by itself. It's the fastest / easiest, because you don't have to have an SD card. You don't have to have a way of transferring files over to your computer and then list from there. Maybe you do like 100 at a time, 100 items at a time, and then send them over batch. Just do everything in batch format. I suppose that would be faster. But if you're dealing with fastest and easiest, which is what I put on the title, that was more laid out for people who are just trying to find a way to be more productive, maybe beginners or intermediate sellers who are just like in a kind of a rut and just needed
people
a way
who don't have Macs where everything is transferred automatically from their phone.
The reason why I don't do batch listings is because I got all my crap in the garage, okay? And my computer is right here in this office. So I would have to literally just bring in tubs of stuff. I mean, like this crap here, and list that way. I guess I wouldn't need to bring it in the garage. I like to have it so I can, well, weigh it and everything while I'm listing. And I used to do it that way. Actually, my office was upstairs, and I was transporting tubs of stuff upstairs to my office from the garage, and that was a pain in the butt. And in my opinion, I could be out here with the merchandise, at least get a draft set up, make the draft or launch the listing, and then come back in here and update the listing if I need to. And so I guess, the way that I think his name is James, the way James is doing it, he's doing a lot of batch stuff, and he has templates set up for like pretty much everything. And the problem with why his sell-through rate is as low as it is, it's working for him, but he could improve his sell-through rate if he had item specifics to that specific item. Stop using multicolor for every hat. Stop using generic things that when people are searching for, it'll exclude that item from search. So not going to dog him. I think he's awesome. That's certainly not it, but that's my reasoning for not buying into that. I think it's fast for him, because every item is the same, pretty much the same with item specifics.
Well, whatever he's doing as far as listing is working.
It's working. He's making money. So, hey, I mean, if you can make that work where you can list 100 items a day, get it done, you have a generic template, by all means, and it's going to make you money. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, your bills are getting paid. But I have a hard time wrapping my head around it. But there's different methods. There's different strategies. What is your strategy? Are you going to employ something like that where you just get your items listed and no one's hating you for it? Or are you going to maybe get rid of the crap in your store, like I'm thinking of doing, and just trying to really make sure that the stuff that I'm listing is going to move, and don't think, well, hey, this sold once in the last 90 days. That means that it could sell again. Well, that's not a good that's a fallacy as far as I'm concerned, because maybe that was the unicorn buyer, and that unicorn buyer may not be coming around anytime soon. So there's just a lot of things you got to consider when you're sourcing. But I think, of course, you make money in this business. We say it all the time. You make your money in this business when you buy the item, okay, when you're sourcing the item. So if you make a bad purchase, you're losing money. And I say that because you're losing the time that you're spending and you're wasting on listing it, researching it, cleaning it, photoing it, and all the stuff for it just to sit in your store. It makes no sense to list items that aren't going to sell. That's just my mindset. I have a hard time wrapping my mind around anything other than that. Let's see. Chucky says, nothing but new watchers for me. Be careful, Chucky. That could be people who are actually researching your item and have constantly clicked on your item to look at, to see what you're doing, to maybe emulate what you're doing.
Other sellers.
Yeah. I had someone kept sending me offers for that stupid spaceship I sold for, I call it stupid, but for $1,000. And they're saying, hey, get this great deal. I'm like, no, I just sold this thing. But if you're not careful, you're thinking someone's making you an offer on it. Savage Picker says, grocery store shelves were very bare in areas when I went this morning. Some signs saying temporarily out of stock. Scary, but thankfully I got most of what I needed. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thanksgiving. Our family's coming to town, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, a recent report came out, and I think they said something to the effect of 25% of the U.S. population is going to have a hard time even heating their house this year because of shortages. So not an earthquake, guys, just me knocking the table. My desk, that is. Janet Hader says, my sales finally went up for the last 2 weeks.
Yay.
That's good. That's good. Ed says, my strategy is just to source when I can. I didn't source this weekend because I had way too much to list for my death pile. My funds are low too. Yeah. You got to work with what you have.
And it's always good to go to the death pile. I mean, we are guilty as everybody else. We don't call them death piles, but I'm going to get to that.
Yeah, it's not
piles because I see John, just before we went live, I said, look at the piles going down lower. And he's all, I don't know how, I'm not grabbing shoes out of there. And I said, I am. Yeah. All the shoes that you just took off the table that I cleaned over the course of 3 days, those are now being listed.
I'm more focused on the seasonal stuff right now. So we have a lot of boots and winter stuff. Well, I've been trying to get those up. I just listed a pair of, oh my goodness, I didn't even know what they were. And they came from that batch of stuff from that boxer.
There's some funny name. You said it.
I know. And I got to offer my men's Puma. We'll just do this again, guys. So I just got an offer. I have some men's Puma men's archive light mid-leather sneakers, running shoes. It looked like they're a little suede action and some leather. I had $26.99. I'm into these shoes for $1, guys. $20 is the offer plus shipping. And that's good. I think it's a winner. Of course, check the feedbacks. Make sure that there's no garbage in his feedback, and we're going to accept that. Boom. So happy to take that. But the shoes that I was talking about, well, you guys hear that? It didn't even cha-ching twice.
Yeah.
What's with the double cha-ching? Okay, I don't know. Maybe that's maybe that extra ching was for you guys. I don't know. But trying to find, that's why, because it says Christmas on here. And that's orders anyway. Just trying to find the name. And I've never heard of the name before. And it's a really high-end brand. They're Giuseppe Zanotti. Giuseppe Zanotti, men's shoes, size 13. These things are like $300, and they're patent leather. They have the zipper on the side. They're kind of like a high tops. And I just said, you know what? They aren't in the greatest condition. Looked like the guy liked these shoes a lot. He wore them quite a bit. Some scuffing. The soles were okay. I put them for $130 plus shipping. We'll see if I can get something. I have also, you can make an offer on that. You know, that type of thing. So, as far as back to your statement, though, this is not really a death pile to me. It's just you got to be strategic with it. So to me, are there a lot of people, like half the country is getting really cold weather? Are those people really looking for some light tennis shoes with like the really thin fabric? I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure that this type of shoe sells year round.
Everybody lives in that kind of weather condition.
And if I
that's the thing.
Right. But if I had just this to sell, I would be listing it. Right. But it makes no sense to me if I've got a pile of boots or winter wear and I have all these other tennis shoes, that I would sell the tennis shoes. And then when I got around to the boots, it's starting to warm up now. And okay, there goes your market. So I'm very focused on the market and the type of shoes that I'm selling. And when I get to these, I'll get to these. But right now, and I'm probably through about 80 to 90% of the boots and stuff that we have anyway. So we're going to be like the sandals. I think the first thing we started selling or listing for whatever reason were some of these sandals.
I don't know why we were doing that.
And it's like, okay, why are we doing this? It's starting to get, maybe because we're out here in Vegas. Here we are in like October. It's still like 90 degrees. So we're not thinking like, hey, there's people that are freezing up north. So just look at it from a strategic standpoint. Don't look at it as a death pile. Now, if you've sat on it for a year, then maybe you can call it a death pile. Phoenix Resell says, we got sick the last 1.5 weeks and both of our accounts took a big hit. We listed when we could and managed to ship, but it hurt us. Yeah. Bad time to get sick, but hopefully you guys are getting better. That's good.
Yeah. I hope you guys are getting better because that sucks.
Biff Boffo says, last week I was up 25% over a normal week, but those fluctuations happen all year round. Up 20% over last November selling ephemera.
That word again.
Yeah. I keep thinking of what is it? Euphoria? Whatever. I'm not even thinking English right now, but ephemera, I'm up over last year. So going to keep on. You know what I went and did, and I think everyone should do this, is go in and look at your reports and go to your performance. Of course, you can look at the summary and look at all the stuff. and see that, oh, wow, I'm up 20% on impressions, 18% on listing page views. My sales are up like 33%, but it's comparing it to the 30-day period for the previous 30-day period. And so I went in and did a custom one where I'm comparing it to the previous 30-day period from last year. And I'm down like 20%. So some of these reports you just look at on the surface, wow, I'm doing better. But how are you doing as compared to last year? And I think, of course, that's just a drop off in the economy. And I have no way to explain it. I've had the same amount of items in my store for quite a while because my churn is pretty high, I think, for the size store that I have. Let's see, flipping 80s in my plans going forward is to stick at it, keep going, keep listing, keep doing everything eBay expects of us, and ride out that wave. Yes, okay. But here's another thing. We talk about sourcing. You make your money at sourcing. Are you going to scale back what you're buying? Like Ed was saying, hey, you know what? I could have gone to yard sales, but I'm going to just stick with what I have. Are you going to scale back your purchases? Maybe spend more time on what a lot of us call death piles, right? Stuff that's sitting. Or are we going to maybe come across a deal? You're going to pass it up because you have stuff to list already. I think a lot of times our pocketbooks have a lot to do with it. Do I have an extra $500 to invest in my business? I think there's a lot of people that you got to always have that churn. Like I have a second bank account just for the business, and I only send money over to my personal account for bills and stuff when I know that that's not the money that I'm going to reinvest. So I have money right now. I could go and buy something, but do I want to wait and see what the prices are going to look like? Maybe, getting a lot of information from my friend in the trucking industry. He's getting offers to buy containers full of stuff. And he said he's going to let me know, if he comes across, a deal like that on a smaller scale. So do I wait for that, or do I just keep going out looking for deals? So right now, nothing's changed, but I can see how people would say, you know what, enough sourcing for me. I'm just going to sit back and wait and see what happens. So you got to always be willing to adjust your game plan. You can't just say, this is my business model no matter what, because when times are good, maybe a different business model is going to make you more money. When times are bad, maybe your business model is actually costing you money. So you got to just, make sure you're in tune with what you're doing. Eddie Estrada says, I will add coupons on top of my 15% sale. Also switch more buy it now items to auction. Right now, I'm hoping my Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales at 50% will pay off. And I can tell you that part of the reason, and I put a small percentage to why this is the case, but of course, you guys know what happened a few months back. My markdown sale ended, and it ended while I was away. And of course, I didn't realize it till I got back, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I reinstated my markdown sale. So make sure if you got a store that you have that. I think it's very important to utilize all the tools that eBay gives you, your coupons, your markdown sales. Now, it's not going to take a 0 sale store and turn it into a 10 sale per day overnight store. It's not going to do that, but it should have, if everything else is right, it should have some kind of an impact. Yeah. Savage Picker says, list items and run sales. I've also been trying to revise stale listings. Yes.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Had to repeat a chargeback for an item not received and tracking showed delivered. Repeal. Is this repeat? Repeal. Okay. My bad eyesight. Okay. So I had to repeal a chargeback. Yeah. As long as you can provide that tracking number that eBay already has, then you should be fine. Thomas says, I'm the same way. I run dual SIMs so I can have service everywhere. Feel like a drug addict. Yeah. I was like, man, I even had someone.
I'm like, call me when you get there. He's like, I can't.
Yeah. And I even had somebody set up their phone hotspots just so I can get online. That was ridiculous. But Jenna was here holding down the fort, so I didn't really have to worry that much. But I still want to be, involved as much as possible in my account. Jenna, did you get some quality time together in the end? If not, John, happy wife equals happy life.
Oh, from last week? Yes, I went to the bowling alley with him and
Quality.
and you know,
That's some quality
that's
time.
really
right
the
there.
only quality lately that we've been getting.
Yeah, I'm a
It's
sad
a very
mess.
busy. We are very, very, very busy, and we don't get.
It just
We
is. This
we
is the way it
haven't
is.
taken the time to do that.
You know, it takes time. You know, you guys don't see it on the back end. Here's another offer. Oh, good. Let's see what we got here. We got a Pioneer Super Tuner. I picked this thing up for $2 at a yard sale. $2. It's a car stereo. The guy said it worked. He just upgraded his car stereo months back, and the offer is $21, and it's sold.
Cha-ching.
Let's see if we can get that in here. Come on. You guys hear that? I gotta put my volume up. So another sale. So awesome. You guys are very, very lucky for me.
You guys don't see on the.
You guys don't see on the back end that, okay, as far as the time thing, you guys don't see on the back end, it does take time to do YouTube and the videos. I'm learning. I got a new software that I'm using for videos, hopefully to add a little bit to the production quality. You can only go so far with iMovie on the phone. And for me, it's just trying to do that, trying to think of things and maybe come up with ways to keep the content fresh, but then run the eBay business at the same time. Do things outside of eBay, like my bowling league, maybe go play a round of golf like I did like on Wednesday, go and hang out with the guys in Arizona over the weekend, things like that. She'll go and visit her sister every, so often and things like that. We have the kids coming to the house Wednesday through Sunday. So I really got to get my butt together and get my drafts done. I have some drafts, but I want to get more up. Just a lot going on. And especially in Q4, you can kind of.
I got my Christmas tree decorated.
Did you take a picture for him?
No.
You could.
I could.
Okay.
I will.
The 10-foot behemoth tree that we have.
Oh my gosh. And we don't have a ladder tall enough. So I have to get my 6'3" son to help me get to the top.
6'3" now? Oh yeah, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew he was tall. I thought he was a little taller than me, but I thought he was like 6'2".
He's 6'3".
Oh geez. Okay. Mark Suddick says, nice to see your better half on. She is the best. Also the true boss. So sorry, but shut up. Let her take over the broadcast. Just having fun. Nice to see you both back on again.
Thank you, Mark.
I told her this. I said, look, I'm not going to be here Friday. I said, why don't you do the live? She's like, no way, I ain't doing it. I'm like, well, everyone wants you on the live. She's the reason why you guys didn't have a live on Friday. She didn't want to go on by herself.
Stop.
You didn't want to go on.
You're the reason. You weren't even here.
Well, obviously, I'm not that important to the live stream. I think you're the show right now. So
don't think so.
Okay. Eddie says, I did really well sourcing yesterday, 65 for 100 shirts. That's good. That's good. Time Traveler's Chest. Hi, all. Push that like to get more attention to the channel. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jen, and the family. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Are you doing just the basic?
Are you guys doing turkey or ham or prime ribs, or what are you guys doing?
Normally I'm putting.
We're doing something.
Well,
totally.
Normally I'm putting a turkey in the smoker, and that's just awesome. But this year we're doing something different. I'm making tamales, green chicken.
He makes
tamales.
The best tamales I've ever had in my life.
They're pretty good. Yeah, they're not those parking lot tamales that have maybe a little bit of like leg meat in them and more like sauce, and it's like dry. No. That's not it.
So excited.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Tamales are a pain in the butt.
I'll help you.
No, okay. Well, they're just a pain in the butt. So that's what I have going on. See, that's another thing. Tamales take a lot of time. So I really need to like Wednesday is probably when I'm going to be putting them together.
Probably prep.
One tomorrow to get the stuff and doing the tamales. I'll probably put out a little photo to show you guys what the end result looks like. But it's a lot of work, and it's going to take me away from, family's going to be over anyway on Wednesday. So I can't really.
Well, the first group gets here late morning on Wednesday, and then the second group will be late Wednesday evening.
Yeah. Bearded Poke Tuber says people are still buying the Christmas stuff with over a month left. Yeah, I'd say we probably have a solid, with Christmas being the
We
25th.
do have a month left, but people who decorate like I do, they've already got their stuff.
I would say the last sale that you could really expect to be a Christmas sale would probably be like the 13th maybe of November. You're not really getting
I mean, yes, there are those that, are the last minute, don't do anything until December 1st, but the world, it isn't working that way nowadays.
Tommy says the UPS will not show delivered if they refused it. No way. The driver would never do that. It did. It showed delivered.
Link factor.
Hello. Thank you. I think Carolyn, thank you for hanging out with us today. Thomas says you would 100% see a non-delivery scan with a reason refused and a reason. The driver has to select an order for the item to be shipped back. If no refusal scan, they are trying to scam. Yeah, it could be, but they're like, well, please refund my credit card. No, and like, we don't have it back yet. No, and I won't be doing anything until I get it back. That is why it's just a bad idea. If you have a buyer that reaches out and says, hey, can I just do a return to sender? Or they make a comment, well, I'm just going to do a return to sender. Excuse me. I just let them know it's not good for you if that happens, because if I don't get it back, who knows what's going to happen with that package if it gets lost. You're not getting anything back. Biscuit Butts chiming in on the storage unit. I would rather do a storage unit than a liquidation pallet. With a liquidation pallet, you can only make so much according to how it's manifested. But with the storage unit, it's unlimited how much you can make. There's more. So I guess what he's saying,
how much you don't make.
I guess he's saying there's more risk reward. So it's a liquidation pallet is probably a safer play that you can see the manifest and have an idea what you're going to make. With a storage unit, you could have. I mean, I guess he had someone that, had thousands of dollars in cash one time in a safe. You just don't know what you're going to get. And so for me, it's just, you might get stuck with a bunch of porn. Ask Archie about that. So
don't
so
throw him under the
well,
bus.
he didn't buy it. He just found it in the storage unit.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Poor
that's
Archie.
just the truth.
He's always our beat board.
We love Archie. So
we do.
Okay. Aunt White says you missed like 3 of my questions at the beginning.
Uh-oh.
Did I? What other questions?
You had a lot of them. Which
Statement. You put a box there, so that's not a question.
Wait, hold on. Go back up.
No, that's it.
No.
Where? Okay, she's reading slow. I read fast. Okay, you did that one. Opinion on Mercari hashtags.
Teddy
Ruxpin. I don't really sell Teddy Ruxpin. Maybe the first one.
It doesn't matter though, because you have it spelled correctly and in different formats. It doesn't matter. The hashtag will be seen no matter how you.
I think I missed one. That. I don't think I missed more than that.
So you can do it all together, a capital and another capital at the beginning of the word. That doesn't make a difference.
So now I got to catch up to where I was at.
Up.
Okay, let's go here. Okay. So we got Eddie Estrada. I almost called you Eric Estrada from Chips. Sorry about that. My wife has been wanting to go to storage unit auctions, but I don't want to deal with storing a lot of bulky items and taking stuff. I don't want to go to Goodwill or the dump, but maybe I'll go to one and see.
I mean, just check it out and see. You may find something really good.
It's all about if you can get it at a cheap price.
Get it
that's
low.
The key.
Yeah.
Tommy says auctions have only a fraction of the search results as eBay as buy it now. New listings, organic listings, and auctions fight for approximately 9 out of 20 search results. eBay isn't pushing auctions at all. They need to get that off of the default though on the app, I think.
Yes, that's so annoying.
LSGS Rob says if you're charging the exact amount that you pay for shipping, then you're effectively losing money on every single sale. Oops. You should be charging retail rate for shipping. Shipping is not cheap. I'm happy, I guess. I guess it's because my buy cost is so low that I can absorb that. Some people buy at a higher rate. Some people feel like, I can spend $10 on this item. I could flip it for 25. Well, you have less room to work with, like this stereo I sold. I got it for $2. 21 plus my cost of shipping. If it
How much
means
did you buy that thing for?
$2.
Oh,
Guys like $2. He was like trying to get, going on a Sunday yard sale. This is the last day. They still have stuff left over. They're just trying to get rid of it. If you come across a yard sale that's disorganized, you can probably get a better deal than a yard sale where everything's organized and perfectly laid out on the table. People are going to want more money for their item. This guy was like, oh yeah, I picked up this web TV in the box. It looked like he tried it once and put it back in the box. $2. These recessed lighting fixtures.
Is that the guy that told you, hey, it's nothing, it didn't sell yesterday, so make me a deal, I'll do it for today?
Yeah, and I'm like, I'll think about it, because that means I want to look it up, right? So he's like, I'll give you, I wanted $10, I'll give you $4 for it. All right, okay, I'll put it in my pile. Really hard to look anything up when you know that things are going to sell. So for me, shipping is just one of those things. It really depends on your business model. Sean says, buy in bulk like old coins and vintage tobacco pipes. They relist them all separate at $9.99. Buy it now, high with no reserve, 5 days. Make your investment money back. The rest is pure profit. God bless. Yeah, like buying the shoes in bulk, that kind of thing. But again, you got to know about the old coins and vintage tobacco pipes and stuff like that. I could see a box of tobacco pipes and be like, I don't know what I'm looking at here. So LSGS Rob says, when I sold electronics, I charged calculated plus a minimum $4 handling fee and up to $10 to $15 handling fee. So it sounds like maybe my handling fee is too low. I don't know. I just thought that
I've been telling you that for years.
Well, maybe I'll consider that. But Damian D says, after you lose out on shipping a couple times, you'll stop feeling bad. Yes. So don't feel bad about the money you make on shipping. Yeah. Let's see. Craig is in the house, says, if combining shipping, you should give some kind of.
Hold on, Craig. Hold on, Craig.
What?
Tony Resells, new to the channel.
Oh,
hi, Tony.
Hey,
thanks for joining us.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We do this every Monday and Friday. Well, maybe not this Friday, but probably not this Friday. Unless you guys want my family to talk about reselling, I'll get Kelly on here and she can tell. Yeah, I could bring my daughter on here and she can talk about her reselling.
So rude. I think they're watching. That's why I'm looking down, because my granddaughter texts me, and then my son-in-law
as a reseller.
Tried calling. Tommy tried calling me.
Okay.
And so I had to tell him I was on the line.
So Craig says, if combining shipping, you should give some kind of a discount, refund, or send each package individually since it's the price shipping they paid for. If you advertise, look, combined shipping, then you should honor that. But if you don't, and you find a way to get it all boxed together, if they say something, I mean, maybe, but to me, I don't know. I just don't prescribe to that. Did it get there in the condition you expected it to? That's what matters. And if you're making money off of shipping, maybe put a little nice note in there. It's all, build that customer perception. Wow, I didn't expect that. And get their mind off of the fact that maybe they got $5 coming back on the shipping. Reseller Madness says, I've gone to calculated shipping for everything these days. Usually make just a couple extra bucks over the label price, which goes to packing and label, wear and tear on the equipment. Yeah. Hit the like, but we have 113 people watching, so
hit the like button, guys. Let's go.
She has a lot more energy than me. We're gonna have her do this on Friday.
That is the one and only time he will ever say that to me.
Joey says, recently heard someone just had all their listings somehow switched over to free shipping in error. Sometimes if you're listing in the app, you'll see that it'll flip the payment policy. It'll flip the shipping on you. So you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Fair Market Flip says, what are your thoughts on markdown sales and coupons versus coupons? We like your channel and content. It's down to earth and relatable for new to growing sellers. Yes. Thank you for joining the channel.
Thank you.
I like them both. I use both. So I feel like the coupon is really cool. If someone does a search on your item, it'll show that you're offering a coupon right there. It's, I think, an incentive to get someone to click on your listing, as well as that slash to the price, with the price in red.
Awesome.
Also.
Thank you, Ed.
What happened?
Shout out to our
what happened?
What are they? Moderators.
Oh,
Thank you for our moderators. I see what's going on in the chat.
Oh, okay. She's watching and I'm trying to catch up. So
appreciate it.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things where people think, let's go to a reselling channel and let's go and put our porn links, and maybe someone who is really going to be
catch it.
They're going to be really inclined to click away to that porn link because that's, I don't know.
There were weird. A lot of them.
I don't know. I'm like, what money are you making as a porn hustler in a reselling channel? Yeah, well, it's not working. Anytime Picker says Tommy is the best shoe seller on the planet. Well, I want to pick his brain. I mean, he does have a lot of good information, and he kind of.
Has Tommy been on your channel?
No, he won't come on. He doesn't want to come on the channel.
Tommy.
No, we love having him here. I'd love to have him on, but he doesn't want to come on. So
come on.
But no, he did, the video I did with the listing, the fast and easy listing, the last one I did, he put a thing, you need to have your shoe size on the title a little bit closer to the front. And I agree, again, piggybacking off a lot of sellers, sometimes, looking at like it's a Nike Fusion swoosh, lunar, whatever. And it's, men's size 12 is going to be at the bottom of the end of the listing anyway. So
no one designed said,
well, I'm gonna get there.
I know, but no, it's replying to what we were just talking about. It says, dang it, I almost found love.
Anytime Picker says, if it wasn't for Tommy, I would donate all the shoes back to Goodwill, even the ones that I currently wear. Damian D says, eBay rep called me this morning, tried to convince me to sign up for advanced promoted listings after research. Seems like a money grab. It's a heck of a money grab. They gave me $500 in free advanced promoted listings, and it didn't do much for my sales. Okay. If you're a bigger seller, if you have, let's say, multiple quantities of different items, then it may make some sense, but otherwise I wouldn't even bother with it. Shopping with Cheryl says, I now have my brother's 10,000 Matchbox Hot Wheels cars. I know nothing about them. Well, you don't have to. Just do a Google Lens to find out what they are, and then post that as a search on eBay to find out what they're selling for and list it. Aurora 3K, how you doing? Thanks for hanging out with us today. Ed says, I know you're talking about that live video. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, just clicky. I mean, it's just one of those things.
He had a post on Instagram, and that's all I did.
It's not a lie. I was watching it going, dude, you weren't lying to nobody. I mean, nobody knew. I mean, we have our thoughts, and you just thought
I don't give in to clickbait.
Anytime Picker says exactly only needs. I've been trying to buy toilet paper from Costco and flipping it locally. You know what? That would have worked great in the pandemic. And you know what? The Costco toilet paper isn't as good as the Sam's Club. Just saying.
No.
We had a big debate about that.
We had a debate.
But it does say on the packaging it's new and improved, so that's why we gave it a try.
We gave it a second chance.
We'll let you know how it turns out.
Let you know how it goes.
Aunt White says, I found a lady at a flea market this past weekend. Place is a gold mine. She has thousands and thousands of items that fit in my store. And her prices are already low enough. I didn't have to negotiate. Awesome. But you could have tried. No, I mean, I will try.
He's a haggler.
I will try. Like, all right, how much for all this? 20. Did you take 18? I will do it. And sometimes they'll say, fine, I'll take it. Okay.
And some they'll just say no, and he'll walk away.
Yeah. Needs versus want. As long as you're an expert in your category, you can sell anything in any economy. Yeah, I guess I don't know. There's a lot of experts out there in collectibles that, are looking for ways to sell their items. I don't know. This is going to be uncharted territory for a lot of us next year. I just, right now we're in Q4. People are using their credit cards to buy stuff for Christmas. What happens when they stop paying their credit cards? They're not going to have those credit cards. What's going to happen when they don't have the same kind of perceived buying power that they don't have, that they used to have? They don't have it anymore. Let's see. And White says $10 GI Joe new in box cost 10, sold 120. Wow. Lego 20 sold for 175, and so on. My new weekend spot to hit up. There you go.
Yeah.
Eddie says a lot of low ball offers. I don't mind when auctions sell for the starting bid, but otherwise it's quite annoying. Michael says, I know sports cards are going down, but for a penny a card, I wouldn't help it. $50 for 5,000 baseball cards. Okay. And as long as you enjoy it, that's also a little, you get a little fun to like, well, I found $100 card in here.
Yeah.
Thomas says, watch the Car Channel, your advocate alliance, best car channel on the planet. They're changing the car buying industry. Okay. Jovial Juggler says you can alleviate those annoying low ball offers by adjusting the minimum offer amount when listing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Tommy says, never Roman. I just respect James to death, but that model isn't good for my headspace. Oh yeah, the James does a great job. Me and Tommy will get close so many listings in our lifetime. Where's the guy putting all the stuff? It looks like he has a 2-story house.
Does he have a warehouse?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Like land with a
no.
a
I
shop?
don't. I see him like walking through different parts of his house, but I don't know. Just let's see. Noah Design. Hey John, just made it this Monday. Was oddly busy for me. Tommy says James
Busy's
inventory.
good.
James inventory is paid for. That's the difference. If you go and buy the items, do his model, you'll go broke. Yeah, it's just years of accumulating, right? Accumulating and building a store. Susan says, I've started to run auctions and sales have picked up for sale on auction. I'm thinking twice before buying. Live in North. Garage sales are done here, so I'll use Marketplace as well. Yeah, garage sales are down. They're down to around from like 50 some odd garage sales in the Vegas area to now like 30. I really doubt there's going to be any this weekend. I'm not going any, of course, this weekend, but I'll still go if there's some in the area. Tommy says, also just because I sold it once doesn't even mean they paid so many levels. Yeah, that's true. James will keep listing all day on Thanksgiving. But you know what? If you have it in your mind, if that's what you think of, you wake up and you think eBay, it's really, I mean, it's like, okay, Thanksgiving's just another day. What am I going to do? Watch football? Eat turkey? I'll do both of those things. And I still might even list something.
This guy.
Yeah. Shopping with Cheryl. I inherited my brother's collections, so I have no choice in what I have to sell. Well, you do. I mean, you don't have to sell that. You could sell other things as well.
Yeah, but if you have it,
yeah, you can.
If you have it, you
right,
might as well.
Right. But I mean, that doesn't mean you're stuck selling that forever. You can.
Well, you could sell it in bulk.
Yeah. Pork Chop says, I think I better start doing some shoes too. Do you have to worry about the brand and them being authentic? High end, yes. But I don't know anyone who's selling knockoffs. Doesn't mean I won't ever encounter
weird?
them.
I had a Nike pair of shoes that I went to list, and it told me I had to get it authenticated. And then I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
Did
on
you
a
list
Nike.
It?
I did. So what happened is I put
certain
it in
models.
I put it in a draft. I didn't go back to it, and then when I reopened it again, it didn't do it again. I thought it was very strange.
Craig Wynan says, I list whatever I have. I'll worry about quality bundling when I start getting close to running out of slots in my shop. It's minus 90 in Cleveland today.
What?
Well, who's in Cleveland anyway?
Minus 90?
Yeah. I'm
minus
also
90
from that's
or
not,
minus 9.
No, that's probably means it's cold as hell there. Don't look it up. It's just cold there. That's not 90 degrees negative. Cheryl's also from Vegas, but stuck in the Midwest for a few months. Hate the cold. Yeah, the cold sucks. No One Design says, fun fact, not a lot of people know this, but if you get more than 3 to 5 sales, come into your cha-ching will sound off, but you'll just get a ding sound at once. Well, that didn't happen to me, but I got 2 sales with you guys on the live. So thanks for that. I appreciate it. And they both paid.
It's 44.
Yeah.
It's the same temperature.
I told you not to look it up. Wanda says, does eBay count an impression when you open your own listing? I don't think so. But I do know. Well, it may be because I've actually went back and looked at a page view, and it did show me as looking at my listing. So maybe. Tommy's, I'm up 190% year over year. A lot of Mercy have crapped the bed last year. I mean, she's doing good. So that's awesome. John just ruined my night. My selling cost with $53,000 so far this year. That is a nice pre-owned vehicle. Yeah. But I mean, it's a vehicle to get you to where you're at. So Maybe next year you'll be up again. Let's just hope.
No one designed to. You said Amber Heard. Is that you? Please don't tell me you're referring that person to me.
Oh, those are fighting words. Let's see. Prosser says, flip it ain't easy. I'm going to focus more on manifested pallets for the time being, as most places I've increased prices. Charity shops are pricing at eBay prices, like like your equivalent to Goodwill. Yeah, pallets are good. You just got to find the ones that aren't cherry picked. That's the key. Let's see. One busy mama to you. Hi, John, and your better half, Jenna. I revised some heavier items for shipping where I had as a medium flat rate priority and adjusted the calculated priority. Huge difference in savings for the buyer. Yeah, there's a lot of people that it seems like they like that extra cushion, but for me, it just works out. It's almost the same idea as, look, I have an item for 20 plus $9.99 shipping, right? That label might cost me $11. It might cost me $8.30. Some might say just charge them $14 and just eat the rest of it. But it's the same as saying I have a competitor is selling that same pair for $29.99 free shipping, right? In the buyer's minds, it's $29.99. So it's kind of the same. But if I'm charging more now that they're looking at two similar items, because my shipping is now more, they're going to go away and click on the person that's offering what's going to cost them less, right? So I'm very sensitive to that. It's almost like that hybrid shipping model I kind of talked about 6 months to 9 months ago, whenever I put that out, where sometimes I know it's going to cost me 15 to ship, but I'll charge $10 to make it look reasonable, and I'll build in the other $5 into my price. If that makes sense. Shopping with Cheryl says, buy tamales out of the back of a truck. They're everywhere in Vegas. Yeah, but they're not mine.
They're not his.
Yeah, they're not mine.
They don't compare.
Let's see. We're at 4:30 Pacific, so we're gonna do a little bit more. And we put this user in timeout.
No, you block them.
Oh yeah, block them. Okay.
Ed,
I'm gonna stop paying my mods.
Ed.
Oh, I haven't paid them yet. So.
Ed, you're slacking.
Oh, and it says an error. It won't let me get rid of the.
Probably because he already did
the pervs. Okay, sorry. I'm just catching up. Tommy says, "Let me get them links before you." Heaven forbid. I mean, that's what we look for. We come here for the reselling content and hope that someone posts some porn.
Somebody.
IDM7 says, "I'm making random observations about live streamers. I'm guessing you microwaved a marshmallow before. You own at least 3 TVs, but only one works. Good Jew joke, but you don't tell it in public. I don't understand what that's for. Obviously, you have some hate for the channel. I don't know. Am I right? Am you right? What I have? You don't microwave marshmallows, which is ridiculous. And 3 TVs, only one works. No, I have 3 TVs and all of them work. And you're probably the one that's about to tell the joke, right? So. How about this? Let's make it fun for you, and we'll just let you go to another channel. That's great. Ed says, I'm not getting anyone anything other than my kids. If I resell pickup, then maybe I might get something for them. Yeah. A lot of people are in that same boat. So, don't feel bad. Just do the best that you can, Your
kids are all that matter anyway.
Tommy says, did you see the snowstorm across the north? That was auction professor's tear freezing after running huge sales and best offers still with poop sales. So even a professor struggles selling now. It just, look, you could put as many cool things out there, from like 1940 that you want, postcards, stamps, all the stuff that you think is cool. And maybe last year was selling well, but I got to tell you, if people are having a hard time paying their bills, they're really not going to lose a lot of sleep if they don't get that postcard. They're going to buy stuff they need before they buy stuff they want. Let's see. Roman Ilichow. Maybe I got that wrong. Here for the first time, sold a perfectly working phone. 45 days later, they're trying to return it on me for not working. What should I do? It worked when it was sent. So it's a perfectly working phone. Maybe he probably wants out. So, well, of course, you have to take the return. That's the last thing you want to do is ignore that. So take the return, inspect it, make sure it's, if you have the serial number, make sure that it's the same phone. Maybe they don't know how to use it. Maybe I've had that before where they returned it saying it wasn't working. They just didn't know how to turn the thing on. So if you can determine that maybe it's in a different condition than what you sent, or if it's a different one that's a swap out, of course, you can use the refund tool to get 50% back from the refund amount. But that's really all you can do, unfortunately. Tommy says he has 37 masters and 15 doctorates.
It's
probably the other dude.
Yeah.
Okay. We got Chicago Sellout. Hey, John, happy I could join live for a change. Thanks for hosting these. So thanks for hanging out with us. We have over 110 people. And we're going to, of course, can you see if she came? My wonderful carrier. She came for a week to the house, smiles, everything. I'm like, hey, I got 2 bags of stuff to take for you to take. Let me carry them to your truck for you, right? Totally cool. We haven't seen her since. That was a week ago. I don't know what's going on. I thought we had maybe cured that. I thought she was maybe spoken to. She came for like 3 or 4 days in a row and nothing. So I'm going to have to probably head out to the post office here in a minute before they close up. Ed says most of the popular Nike shoes have to get authenticated now. The return process is horrendous, though. Still waiting on a return that FedEx says for 112 days. Going to make a video about it. I'm waiting for the Christian Louis Vuittons to be authenticated. They have them. So we'll see what happens on that. I'm going to make a video.
Guess what?
She came?
She came.
Wow. Awesome.
She came on Friday, too, when John was gone.
I had taken the stuff on the way.
She only came to the door because she had to bring a return. And she went to walk away after she handed me the return. And I said, oh, wait, I have a pickup for you.
Yeah, I sense she doesn't want to do her job, but she's just happy when she doesn't have to. Oh, she was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh. Woo!
Amin Erfai says, Giuseppe Zanotti is a huge bolo. Keywords should be UK hip-hop, can run the same level as Prada. Well, I maybe need to up the price on that. I only have it for 129. But
Jennifer
there's really no comp.
Lopez just collaborated with Giuseppe.
Oh, did really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably going to up the price then. I saw other people selling similar, but these had scuffs and stuff in it. They weren't the greatest. So maybe I'll just leave them there. Happy to get the sale. Jason Stevenson says, going back to the start, 1 hour and 39 minutes in. Just wanted to say good day, Mike.
Good day, Mike.
Good day, Mike. And put another shrimp on the Barbie for you. I don't think I got that right.
No,
that was a little bit bad.
Yeah,
that wasn't. No, I guess. With a southern accent. Put a shrimp on the Barbie for you. That's not it either.
That's not it either.
Okay. Tommy says everything has a market rate. Upping the shipping means you're going to lower the price to sell it. Reseller math is always hilarious to me. I mean, look, if the market says the buyer's looking for this to pay $30 shipped, right? Because that's historically what it's sold for. You could do all the stuff you want to add extra shipping. It better be $30, including the price of shipping, because if they look at it and say, look, I just found one for 30. Why would I pay 35? And they look fine. They're new. They're both new. Why would I pay more if this one's 30? So yeah, I agree with that. But there's a lot of people that think otherwise for some reason. Let's see. I didn't hide them, John, because I'd know that it was spam or not. That's fine. I'm just giving you a hard time. It gives me something to talk about. I still don't understand why people would come in here and post. If maybe we're selling lingerie, right? Maybe we're selling bikinis.
He's talking about the guy.
Oh, that guy? Okay, but I'm talking about forget that guy. People have nothing to do. They don't have family coming over. They don't have to worry about getting ready for the holiday. So let's watch YouTube and troll someone's channel. That's kind of what it is. So and maybe one of his 3 TVs do work, and that's why he's able to watch the show. So good on him for that.
Not anymore.
But well, he could watch. He just can't say anything. So he can be there in his underwear and eating popcorn and
down in his mom's basement.
Yeah. And all that good stuff. So, but no, the porn links and stuff, for me, it's like I scratch my head and just wonder why. I mean, if we were selling bikinis and lingerie, maybe your next step would be the link.
Go Raiders!
Yeah, we won a game. Can you believe it? Craig says just photographed, edited pics, and drafted 20 items and started watching live show today. See, got you going. See, that's what I like to listen to music or listen to these kind of shows when I'm listening. It just keeps me in that mode. Base card collector, have you tried the strawberry and pineapple sweet tamales?
He doesn't like that.
That wouldn't work for me.
He wouldn't eat it. I would. I would try it. I don't know that I'd like it, but I might.
Dan says running sales for my store up 112% sales last 31 days. People are looking for deals. They are looking for deals. And I think that's what's we're going to see people gravitate from retail over to eBay looking for deals. Anytime Picker says, if you have 30-day returns, you can ignore it, but they can still do a chargeback. Yeah. Like your Christmas returns. Like right now they bought something for Aunt Thelma and they give it to her on the 25th of December and they want to return it. You can't ignore it, except you could say, we offer a generous 30-day return, money back guarantee. Had they looked and saw the stain that they're complaining about, we would have taken it back, but they waited for Aunt Thelma to do it, that kind of thing. If you're buying secondhand, if you're buying new on eBay, I don't know. I just have this thing. I don't think I'd ever buy secondhand stuff for someone to wrap for someone on Christmas. It's just kind of wrong. What do you think? Would you do that?
What was the question?
You're not thinking.
I was reading.
Okay. Would you buy someone a secondhand item to give them as a gift for Christmas? If you say yes, I'm going to do it for the Christmas exchange gift.
Then no.
Okay. Because we have a little Christmas exchange where
no, because I know who he has,
yes.
And that would be rude.
Anyway, we won't go there. Damon says, why would he have to accept a return on an item after 40? Yeah, Damien. Did I not say that?
You said Damon.
Damian. Why would he have to accept a return on an item after 45 days? I thought after 30 days, you can decline the return. You can, but they might get their credit card company involved with wanting to do a chargeback.
Chicago sellouts in Vegas.
I'm selling out of Vegas right now too, and my carrier comes around 6 to 6:30. Totally surprised me the first time. I don't look, because they don't come every day. They don't have a good track record here. I can't count on them coming at 6 to 6:30. So they don't come at all. I get a late. So if they don't get here by 4:45, I take the 5-minute trip.
We have to go.
No one designs says hit the like button, guys. Let's get John to get Jenna a real live stream gaming chair.
That's the second time he said it.
My
chair sucks. As you can tell, I'm very fidgety because it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. And she likes to put her feet up and against the desk and cause earthquakes for you guys. So sorry about that. Ping GS says, I have tried the strawberry tamales, the Indio Tamale Festival. They're okay. Meat tamales are always the best. Anytime Picker says, usually it's shady when buyer opens a return after 45 days anyway. They have all this time to open the return if they don't like something about the product. Most of those are scammers, or most likely. I agree. And that's why, it'll never happen. But eBay kind of had it right when they had 14-day returns. You guys remember that? And it's just like Mike McCarry, they get 3 days to inspect it. Unless they use the hell out of it and break it themselves. What are you going to learn after 3 days? That's that you won't know when you open it. My back hurts just watching Jenna sit. And then Chicago sellout. I vote for a new chair for Jenna. She picked that chair.
It sucks.
Okay.
So bad.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, we'll figure it out here. My chair is made of 3 old chairs. I'm just that smart. Anyone hiring a chair engineer.
Shoot.
So
this chair just sucks.
Well, I've caught up to you guys, and we had a great live. I want to thank you guys. Look, this week is going to probably be the busiest week of the year when it comes to sales. Historically, I guess other channels thought they were lying when they told you that. I'm going to tell you that. It's not saying a whole lot, but let's make the most out of it. You've got a couple days before people really get into, after eating their turkey, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all the stuff in between. So if you have anything that has some value, get it up now, make a point, really work your butt off like I'm going to do the next couple days. And for me, it's about making my draft so I can show eBay constant activity. But the topic of, slow sales, it's happening. May not be happening to you, and let's hope it doesn't. But it's a good idea to be in tune with what's going on in the world, to be ready for it, and to maybe even make a plan of action when it comes to your sourcing.
Remember,
and your
it
eBay
always
activity.
gets worse before it gets better.
Yeah. And so keep those things in mind. But that thought is yet another example of how sometimes flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We will probably talk to you next Monday because the family's going to be over on Friday. But guess what? That could change. Probably not, but just keep a lookout.
You could do a live with Aubrey.
Yeah. So
Aubrey is his biggest fan.
Right.
And she's our 11-year-old granddaughter.
Yeah.
And I asked her if she was watching, and she said yes. But then her mom told her to go do chores.
Uh-oh.
So we lost one, but that's okay. We love her.
That's all right. But she hit the like button. You guys should do that too.
Yeah.
So we will see you on the next video, and have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. And
we love you guys.
Yeah. Take care.